Hi, we're the Smith family and we love to travel. Whether it's going as far as China or as close as Florida, we always have a great time traveling together as a family. There's Dad, Mom, Malachi, Kana, Keenan, and Grandma Smith. Take a few minutes and join us on our adventures around the globe.
Hi everyone, this is Jackie from Smith Family Travel Bugs. So I thought that I would share with you a few tips that we have learned along the way while traveling with a young child. So our kids are 5, 15, and 18. So of course the teenagers, they take care of themselves, they make sure that they're prepared for the flight. But our 5-year-old, who's been traveling since he was maybe about a year, we have learned that we need to keep him entertained, we need to keep him fed, and a few other things that I'll share with you. So these are the 5 tips that have worked for us while traveling with a young child, and hopefully you can get some tips that'll work for you so that your flight to your family vacation does not turn into a nightmare. Number 1 is food. Anyone who knows me knows that I love to eat and I love to snack. So if I'm going even on a short drive somewhere, I always have snacks in my bag for myself and of course for the kids. So when we're going on a flight, I make sure that everybody has a doggy bag. So I make things like a really good sandwich, and I put in that sandwich usually like turkey breast, and I'll get chicken strips. I will put some good cheese. My family loves avocado, so I put avocado in the sandwich, as well as they like French onion dressing instead of butter. So, and then I'll do it on a good Kaiser bun. I'll do a little container with crackers and cheese, and we'll do some granola bars. And a lot of times they won't allow you to bring fruit in through security, because especially if you cut it up. If you have it whole and you have the sticker on it, they're okay with that. But a lot of times I've gotten my fruit taken away from me because they don't know where it was imported from. So I now just bring bananas. So at least the banana still has the sticker on it to say where it came from, and they're usually fine with that. And of course you can't bring juice through security, but I do bring a juice container, an empty juice container for a 5-year-old, and then when we get through security, I'll buy a couple of drinks, and then I can add some juice in his empty container and also put some water mixed with it. Airport food is very expensive. Yes, you might get food on the flight, but you never know when they're going to serve that food. So imagine if you have a little one and you don't have food, or you don't have enough food to keep him or her fed, and then they're taking forever to serve your meal, or they serve the meal and your youngster doesn't like what they have. So I always make sure that I have food for those situations. Number 2 is a stroller. Yes, I said a stroller. Even if it's a little Walmart umbrella stroller that you can get for about $15. That stroller is key when you have a youngster, because they're in the long lineups. Most of the times they'll want to walk around, but sometimes they get restless, and it's good for you to at least have somewhere where they can rest their feet for a little while. Also, when you're in those long security lineups, there is a separate line for strollers and wheelchairs. And so take advantage of that, because we have, and those lines of course are much shorter than the general lines. So when you have a stroller, you can get through security much faster. So tip number 3 is entertainment. So whatever your child is into, whether they like playing on a tablet or on your phone, make sure that you have it charged. And my suggestion is for you to download new games, new things for them to do the night before you go on your vacation. So our son is really into, he has his own tablet, and he's really into like any superhero games or Angry Birds. Really loves that. So what I usually do is I look for new games that he doesn't have yet on his tablet, and I'll download those the night before we go on vacation. And then when he's in those long lineups or on that long flight, he has something new to explore and to learn the games, as opposed to using what he already has. And I also bring some travel size coloring books, and I usually get that from the dollar store. I bring crayons, markers, so when he gets tired of playing games, he can color or draw or write. I get him a mini Etch-a-Sketch as well. So, and he loves that. You know, he likes to write on it, and then he can erase it, and you know, just things to keep them entertained. So tip number 4 is a change of clothes. So we were on a flight, me and my husband were on a flight to Hong Kong, and this couple were traveling with 2 young kids. They were probably about 18 months, and one of them made a mess on their clothes, and for some reason they forgot a change of clothes. So the poor parents had to take off the clothes, go in the washroom, wash the clothes, and then like hang it over their chair and hoping that it would dry before the flight was done. Well, it was a long flight, it was Hong Kong. So I assumed that it had dried, but they didn't have a change of clothes. So the poor little one was in a diaper shirt and their socks, and then they had to wrap them in the blanket provided on the flight. You never know if they're going to spill something on themselves, or if they're going to get sick and, you know, throw up on the flight. For younger kids, you know, they may soil their pants, and so you always need to make sure you have a change of clothes. If it's an international flight, I always make sure I have a change of clothes as well as pajamas, because I know that we're going to be sleeping on the flight. Just to make things comfortable for our son, I like to change him into pajamas. I also make sure I have his neck pillow with him, and his favorite teddy bear, and night mask. Sometimes he wears it, sometimes he doesn't. But tip number 5 is medication. So remember, you're going to be on a flight, and there's nowhere to go and buy anything. So you need to make sure that you have whatever medication you think you might need, just in case, in your carry-on. So I'll bring things like antacids. I bring nausea pills for us and the little one. I'll bring, and they have some really good nausea pills that have ginger in it. I'll also bring things for pain and fever. I'll bring cold and flu, and some type of cough medicine. So I always want to make sure that I have whatever we need just in case. Those are my 5 tips that have worked for us on many flights with our young ones, and when our teenagers were young ones as well. So I hope that you've learned something and that you've gotten something out of these 5 tips, and I wish you safe travels and have a wonderful family vacation.